The show transform your life from the inside out, because who doesn't want to live a fulfilling and happy life? Welcome to the Kirsty Show. Hello, welcome. My name is Kirsty Bortoft and I am a mindset coach, I'm a meditation teacher, and I'm the founder of a technique called the Freedom Alignment Method. And tonight I have been asked very kindly by Catherine to come online and do a talk to you guys on stress, the impacts of stress, how it affects the immune system, and what we can do to change our relationship to this evening so that we feel more empowered. So I've got a hello from Kerry. Hi. When you jump on, do say hello. It's always really weird talking to a computer on your own. Who else have got there? Stuart. Hi, Stu. Oh, well done for coming online for me. Yeah, it's always really bizarre because you basically sat talking to yourself, or it seems like that. So the more interaction I get, the better it makes me feel. So do say hello when you jump on. Hi, Val. And I'm probably going to put my glasses on at some point. One thing I've learnt while being in lockdown is that as soon as I get out of here, I need to go and get some contact lenses. Anyway, Fab Puria, hello, good evening. Who else have we got there? Julie. Oh, lots of love coming my way, fantastic. So this evening, I want to hit 3 major points with you guys. Now, some of you don't know me, and my background, in a real brief nutshell, is that I've spent the last 15 years dedicating my life to an inward journey. I have probably read most books on how to be free, how to feel happy, how to feel expansive. I've been on every kind of course you can imagine. I'm a bit of a junkie when it comes to things like that. And I've also been on this massive inward journey of trying to find the truth of what makes a human being feel good about themselves. And it started with my own life 15 years ago when I found myself hitting a massive roadblock. A roadblock that really kind of chucked me out into the world and made me think, I can't continue like this. And what it did is it brought up lots of anxiety and stress in my own life, to the point where I started to experience panic attacks. And I don't know if any of you have ever had a panic attack out there, if you've ever experienced stress or anxiety, then you'll know how debilitating that can feel and be. And it just came to a point where there was some inner flicker in me that knew that there had to be another way to live. So I did the normal thing that we all do. I went to the doctors and he prescribed me happy pills. But, these happy pills were for depression, even though I wasn't depressed, I was actually anxious. And I just felt like there had to be something more. So this started me on my journey where I started to seek, if you like, some soul-searching answers. And it started off by training as a coach. And if anybody's ever heard of coaching, it sounds a bit American and a bit dodgy out there, but truth is, coaching takes somebody from where they are right now and it catapults them into a future moment. And that excited me because I wanted to be able to reinvent myself, because I felt like I'd really messed my life up, not knowing that the things that had actually happened in my life were going to really be part of my journey in the future, aka today. I'm just going to say hello to a few people. We've got Catherine. Hello, Catherine. I want to say a massive thank you for Catherine, by the way, for inviting me to come and do this talk tonight. It's always really exciting to connect with her and to be introduced to this wonderful group she's got going on. I'm so inspired by what she's doing. It's wonderful. So basically I started on this journey, and it one of the big things that I learned was that for a long time I was trying to fix myself on the outside, and I would do things like think, right, okay, so when I get that relationship, then I'll be happy, or when I get that new house, then I'll be happy, or that new job. And I was constantly on this ever kind of continual merry-go-round, if you like, of trying to find solutions, trying to find things to make me feel good, and trying to find a solution to not feel anxious and stressed anymore. And all I found was I was getting more stressed and more anxious, because I would get one part of my life sorted and momentarily I'd feel all right, and then bang, I'd feel stressed again. And it was only once I came across the Ashayas, which are a bunch of monks who are non-religious, who taught me that basically through a meditation practice, that in order to make a lasting change, you have to change from within. And it was at that point I had a massive light bulb revelation moment where I realised I'd spent my whole entire
kind of adult life looking outwards, looking continuously outwards, getting really stressed out by what was going on in the world, by about pollution on the planet. I'd get worried about, oh my goodness, are we gonna have a nuclear war? I'd get worried about everything, and it would like keep me up at night. It would stop me from sleeping. It would make my mind really busy, and it would make me feel like I was going slightly mad. And I don't know if any of you out there have ever experienced a busy mind, then give me a thumbs up. Because my mind was so out of control, it was ridiculous, and it was very, very violent. It would say really negative things to me like, you're a loser, you're a failure, you've really messed your life up, etc., etc. And these sorts of things would really perpetuate out of control and make me feel like I had no control in my life, and I felt miserable. So if you relate to that, then do give me a thumbs up. Or maybe you know somebody right now that's really concerned and worried because of what's going on our planet. Maybe you're aware of a friend or a family member who's having sleepless nights. Potentially it might be yourself. Or maybe you know somebody who's just really stressed, and the stress is getting them into such knots that they're not able to really concentrate. They feel overwhelmed. They're trying to juggle homeschooling with work, and it just feels like too much. But if that's the case, then you're in the right place. Because tonight, what I'm going to share with you is, I want to take you on a little journey and share with you some of the golden tips that I have learned in my last 15 years that have completely changed my world around. Being able to change my relationship from the things that were on the outside, so the stressful things that would happen to me in the outside world, so that I wouldn't react to them and feel like I couldn't cope on the inside. And so the three main areas I want to look at is, I want to look at what stress is, I want to look at what impact stress is potentially having on your immune system, and I want to show you how you, from this evening, can change your relationship to that, so that you don't have to spend another moment compromising your health, your stress levels, or your life in this moment now, especially with what's going on in our current world. So, can you imagine if you knew the secret after the next 30 minutes of what it would be like to be able to deal with up and coming potential stresses? How different that's going to make you feel? Well, if you're excited about that and you want to know more, then do give me a thumbs up. Do say hello. I'm going to jump on here and see who's on here first. I'm going to have to find my glasses. No good. Right, Catherine, I want to share with you, with the world, you're amazing. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Watch this, ladies. There's hello from Kerry. Oh, there's so many on here. My goodness, I'm going to have to do this. It's trying to speak and actually see who's on here is quite difficult, Catherine, isn't it? Laura, hello. Okay, so let's jump in. So first of all, what is stress? I honestly thought that stress was something that I was going to feel forever. 10 years ago, I just felt like it was just, this is it, I'm just going to be a stressed out woman for the rest of my life. I'm just never going to be able to chill out. And I didn't realise that stress actually isn't the enemy. I didn't realise what it was and why it affected us, and why actually it's showing us when we're out of alignment with our truth. Stress is basically a chemical reaction in the mind and body. And it happens because it's telling us that there's something going on that we need to take notice of. We need to take notice because there's something we're either reacting to, or something that we're fantasizing about that we're reacting to. And what it does is it releases a chemical called cortisol. Now, you might have heard this as the fight or flight chemical. And it happens when we do one of two things. Potentially, we go out in the world and we are partake to something that's really scary and dangerous. So let's say, for example, for some bizarre reason, you go out and there is a tiger let loose and you have to run for your life, okay? Then what would happen is you would witness that, and instantly there would be a signal that would go from your brain that says, I need to run for my life because there's the likelihood that I might get eaten here alive by a tiger. Now, the likelihood of this happening, I know, is very small. However, had you been born back in caveman times, then that might have been more of a likelihood. So what happens is the brain then signals the body and goes, right, Claire is under attack, she's under threat. And what it does is it releases cortisol into the body. And that's really important, because what it does is it does two things. Is it literally gives you, it starts shutting off the blood vessels in your body so that it pumps energy into your legs and arms so you can run for your life. Now, in that moment, that is very important because you might need to run for your life and save it. But the problem is is that we are the only species on this planet that can also trigger the stress hormone by, are you ready for this? Thought alone. Now I'm going to say that again. We're the only species on the planet that can trigger the stress hormone by thought alone. So what happens? Literally, you could be sat down watching Love Island or whatever's on TV these days, and you might be just sat there watching TV very calmly with your family, and the next thing your mind starts to wander. It wanders into a past moment. It wanders into a future moment. Perhaps it starts to think about what it's just heard on the news or a conversation that you've had over the phone with a family member, and it starts to regurgitate the information. So let's say, for example, the current thing that's going on right now, obviously COVID-19. There is so much information being penetrated out towards us in everywhere we look. You turn the TV on, you turn social media on, the radio, every other word is COVID-19. And unfortunately, it's wrapped around a lot of fear and uncertainty. So the tendency of the mind is that it grabs that information, and because we don't see the full picture, the way that the mind works is it pieces things together and it creates its own jigsaw puzzle. Because how else is it going to do? How else is it going to operate? It can only take bits of information that it's got and make its own assumption on. So it becomes your own perceived reality. So you might hear your mum saying, oh yeah, so there's been this many deaths so far in the UK, and then you might hear a report on the TV, and then you might hear something on the radio, and then we gather all the information together and then we make our own opinion on it. But what happens is, because the mind, the subconscious mind, has no idea what reality is, so what I mean by that is it doesn't know whether it's happening now or not. As I said before, we're the only species that can trigger the stress hormone because it doesn't know that it's not happening now. So if we focus on something stressful, even if it's not real, even if it's a potential hazard, even if it's something in the future that hasn't happened yet, your mind has no idea that it is not happening now. And so what it does, because it's so magnificent actually, your mind and body are wonderful, they're so fantastic, and they're so set up to keep you alive, it goes straight into action. And if it could talk, it would say, just a minute, Emily is under attack. But actually what Emily's doing, she's sat watching Love Island thinking about the potential of life going seriously wrong because of COVID-19 in a future moment. And that potential is based on bits of information that she's gathered along the way and then made her own assumptions. It's not real, it's not true, it's a future moment which she's created in her mind. And so then what happens is the body then goes, right, she's under threat, we need to make sure she stays alive. And so it goes into action and it floods the body with cortisol. Now you have 50,000 trillion cells in your body, right? That is a lot. And every single cell gets flooded with this cortisol, which is a hormone that increases your heart rate, it makes you very alert, it actually makes your eyes dilate, it gives you energy, in fact it gives you a huge boost of energy, and it makes you feel like you're on edge, and also your stomach starts to churn. But meanwhile you're sat there watching TV and it doesn't add up, because you're feeling now really anxious, you're feeling really stressed, but you're just watching Love Island. So what is going on? So the truth is, because the body thinks that you're under attack, it's going to do whatever it can to keep you alive. It's going to try and support you. And so unless we are aware of this, then it becomes out of control. And then what happens is we think that we're having an anxiety attack, or we think that we're feeling stressed, or we think that we're feeling like not well. And the truth of the matter is, it's because we have focused our mind onto something that is in a future moment that's not happening now. And the body has just reacted. That's it. So if we can switch on the cortisol hormone, can we switch it off? And the answer is absolutely yes. However, cortisol, when it floods the body, it does two things. Now, you imagine, let's go back to that tiger you're running away from, right? You're running away from that tiger, you've gone outside and you're running away from the tiger. You need to save your life in this moment. What happens is, you can imagine that takes so much energy from your body to be able to keep you running away from the tiger. So it needs to reserve energy, it needs to take it from somewhere else. So guess what it does? It takes it from two other areas. The first area it takes it from is your maintenance area. So your body is constantly maintaining itself. It's so clever. Like, you have cells in your body that are rejuvenating. Even in the time we have been speaking now, you will have lost millions of cells and rejuvenated millions of cells. In fact, it's so unbelievably amazing, your body, that every 5 days you get brand new taste buds. 5 days. Crazy. Every 4 weeks you get like new skin, brand new skin, and like every 7 years every cell of your body is completely changed, including the skeleton. The bones of your body are completely changed. That's how clever and advanced your body is. So maintenance is pretty important, but let's face it, if we're going to be running away from a tiger and somebody comes to you and goes, do you want to maintain your body right now, or do you want to get away from this tiger? You're going to go, let's run. I need the energy to run, and that's okay. But it also does something else, and this is the important part. It switches off your immune system. Yep, it switches off your immune system. So the immune system is obviously the part of your body that keeps you safe from bacteria and viruses. It's the part of your body that makes sure that you stay strong and healthy, and my goodness, it knows how to do that. It is so clever and advanced. It really does. It has a system called IgA. The IgA system of your body is like your dream team. It's like your army that is out there protecting you. It doesn't matter what you're facing, whether it is coronavirus or a common cold. If your IgA is up and your immune system is firing on all cylinders, guess what? You're going to be okay. But if it's not, then you are open to the opportunities of bacteria, because that's what bacteria is. That's what viruses are. They are organisms that are opportunists. They don't come and move into a household that they can't get through the front door. No, they go to households that the doors are wide open. And so when people's immune systems are low and down, then that is where they're going to move into. They're going to go to the house where it's easy. They're not predators, they're opportunists. They don't want to come and get you. They're not looking for you. They are just looking for an environment that they can thrive in. And the only environments they can thrive in is one where the immune system is low or switched off. So the problem is that short spouts of it being switched off is not a problem, okay? So if you're going to run from that tiger and then like 20 minutes later you get away from the tiger and everything's fine and you calm back down and your immune system then gets switched back on and also your maintenance gets switched back on, not a problem. That is not a problem. But the problem in today's society is this, is that people's maintenance and people's immune systems are not just being switched off momentarily, they're getting switched off for long periods of time due to stress. Because continual stress keeps the immune system low. And the number one thing that causes stress is, guess what? Fear. Fear. False evidence appearing real. Fear. Fear is the number one reason why people feel stressed. It's a perceived stress. It's a perceived reality. It's something we don't know. It's an uncertainty. It's something that potentially could go wrong. It's something that's out of our control. It's something that feels, I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. Fear, false evidence appearing real. It's conceptual. It's evidence that we've grabbed together and we've created a story. And then suddenly our minds go, oh my goodness, but what if? What if this is the outcome? What if that is the outcome? And it alludes you into another story in the future, which then triggers the stress hormone. So what have we got to do, guys? We have got to ensure that our stress levels are not compromised, that our stress levels are the number one thing that we focus on so that we do not compromise our immune system, our maintenance, and also our health. The most important thing, especially especially right now, is that you are fit and healthy. And the number one way to do that is by you taking control of your own fitness and health. Now, I'm saying it like this because, unfortunately, again, fear can give us the perception that we're out of control of this, of what's going on right now. And of course, there's so many unknowns with this coronavirus, and there's so many, when will we come out of lockdown? Who knows? I don't know. No one knows. We haven't got a crystal ball. And it is a brand new strain of flu, so we don't know everything about this right now. But what we do know is that if you focus less on what's happening out there and more on what's happening in here, you will have such a greater chance of not only getting through this fit and healthy, but coming out of it empowered. And what I mean by that is because you are, as an individual, the most intelligent, your body and mind are the most advanced piece of kit that walks this planet. You do not realise how powerful you are as a human being, and that is because we give away our powers to our thoughts, and the thought is the first thing that weakens our relationship because it triggers the stress. So we have to just rewind this and go back to the beginning and actually take the first step to gain our power back. And how we do that is this. Are you ready? Before I tell you the answers, have we got everyone all right out there? Just give me a hello if you're fine. Thumbs up. We've got a few more people down here. So how we do this is we have to be able to counteract our relationship to the outside world, period. And it starts by you taking ownership and realising you're amazing. You are flipping amazing. 50 trillion cells in your body that are communicating all day long to keep you alive. They are operating like a mean machine. You don't have to think about how to digest your food. You don't have to think about the blood wrapping around your body. It just works and happens because you are so incredibly advanced and intelligent. Do not give your health power away. So what do we do to ensure that this stress is changed? Well, the first thing is first. It is so simple. We have to first of all ensure that we become aware of where we're putting our attention, right? So if you find that you are putting your attention, as in your mind and your awareness, onto things that are downward spiraling and negative, the likelihood is that you are going to end up feeling more stressed. Because, as I said to you before, the perceived idea of something, even if it's not really happening, the body will still react to it. So you have to now start making conscious choices of where you're putting your attention. And the best thing to do is start your day with some daily rituals. And when you do this, what you do is you start empowering yourself from the inside out. We have been given, in this lifetime, we have grown up in a society and a world where, unfortunately, we've kind of devalued how amazing we are as individuals and human beings. And that is through no fault of your own. It's because it's been programmed to you. And this is why. So I'm going to draw you a pretty picture. This is the mind. It's an iceberg, actually. And I use this analogy because it's the best way to describe how you work and operate. Now, this iceberg represents the conscious and the subconscious mind. The top part is the conscious mind, and that takes up 5% of what makes you up as an individual. So your conscious mind is the part of you, it's the creative part. It's the part of you that creates intentions and goals. It's the part of you that went, Catherine says there's this girl speaking tonight about stress. I think I'll go and listen to it. That was your conscious mind that did that, made that decision. But the big part that makes you up is what we call the subconscious mind, and that makes up 95% of who you are. Now, most people, in my experience, when I start working with clients, and especially I know from my own story 15 years ago, do not know how their mind and body works. Now, it was only when I started training with the Ashayas, these monks, when I went to Spain, I took the kids out of school, we drove to Spain, we lived at the top of the Spanish mountain, and I started training, doing a mastery of the self-training program, which was all about going inwards and learning about my relationship with my mind. And it was only when I started working with these Ashayan monks as I started to realise the power of the mind and the mind-body. And it was through this training that I realised the significance of how until you have an awareness of how your mind works, then it's really like not our fault. We are repeating these behaviours and wondering why we don't feel happy because we're not consciously aware of it, because we've never been told. And I hadn't been told how the mind worked. And so when I learned, I was flabbergasted. And so hopefully, right, you are going to take something away this evening with this and realise that you have the power to make some changes, and this is why. So your conscious mind makes the decisions, it makes the intentions, but your subconscious mind, right, is like the biggest tape recorder you have ever had in your entire life. It has recorded everything. I'm afraid so. Everything. The good, the bad and the evil, right? So it's got everything in here. It's like a huge database, almost like a computer really, because it's non-emotional. It has no idea what's real. It has no idea what's not real. It computerizes it really. It just stores information, and it stores it in like sections, if you like. And what's in here is your whole entire life. But some of these sections look like your belief systems. So your beliefs are basically your thoughts that you've thought many times over. And your beliefs generally come from a small child through family, parents, school, siblings, etc. It's where we keep our memories, so anything that's ever happened to us. And it's also where we keep our programs. Now, our programs are what we download so that we can interact with the world. So a program happens because when we are between about the ages of 2 and 7, the brainwaves are what's in this thing called theta state. The theta state, for those people that are watching with small children, are the imaginary states. That's why children under the age of 7 are so wonderful with a cardboard box, because they've got this great imagination. But it's also the hypnotic state, and this is really important. The hypnotic state is when you download programs by observation. So you observe your family, your friends, your siblings, and you'll notice small children, sometimes they'll be playing and then they'll just stop and they'll just be staring seemingly very intensely at maybe an older child or a situation. And what they're doing is they're observing, but they're downloading what's going on. Now, you don't have to try at this stage to download the programs. It just happens. And many of these programs are really important. So learning who we are and where we live and how to interact with the world, we need that, right? But some of the programs are questionable. So an example of a dodgy program might be, like, I remember my grandma was saying to me, "Oh, Kirsty, money doesn't grow on trees." And so I downloaded the program that money was hard to get. Or you might have had a family member that told you you've got to work really, 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 really hard to be successful. And if you don't, then you won't be. Or another great one is, always makes me laugh, but sometimes people that are trying to lose weight and they've got a belief that, well, our family's got very big bones. We've got big bones. And so the belief is that they can't lose the weight because they've supposedly got these bigger bones. And of course, we don't question this stuff, right? Because we've just been told it just gets downloaded and it lives here, right? It lives in our subconscious mind. So we have our programs, we have our memories, our beliefs, but we also have what's called suppressed emotions. And suppressed emotions happen when we have traumatic or stressful experiences. And these suppressed emotions get downloaded into our subconscious because, again, the mind wants to keep us alive. It wants to make sure that we're fit, we're healthy, we can survive, we can deal with life. So when we go through something stressful, and it could be literally, you could be like 5 years old and suddenly your pet cat dies. You've never experienced loss before, and so it's very sad. And so you experience these emotions for the first time, and as much as your parents are very supportive and want to keep you protected, in that moment, there is this emotion that arises. And so your parents might be like, look, come on, don't worry, we'll get you a new cat. And that's really sweet and lovely. But then suddenly what happens is the brain goes, if it could speak, can little Johnny deal with this stress? Can he deal with this feeling of loss, this feeling of emotion? The brain goes, no, he can't. And so what it happens to keep you protected is it takes that emotion and it suppresses it into the subconscious where it stays, right? So all of us have suppressed emotions. All of us have got memories in there. All of us have got these belief systems, values, every single one of us. And this is what makes up our subconscious mind. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is this next part, which is so important. The subconscious mind works completely different to your conscious mind. So your conscious mind is the part of you that's going to say, I'm going to be really happy in life. I want to lose weight. I want to make sure that I'm never stressful again. I want to have the best of this, which is fine. It's perfect. But it operates at about 40 bits per second in comparison to your subconscious mind. That is literally 30,000 times more powerful. I'm going to say that again. Your subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. Now, you might be saying, why do you need to know that? The reason is this, is that you wake up stressed, you wake up anxious, you wake up feeling not happy or content, or feeling like you're overweight, or feeling like you're not in the right relationship, or feeling like you want a better job, or you want to earn more money. And so you consciously go, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to lose 10 stone. I'm going to get down to that dress size. I'm going to get a different relationship. I'm going to get a better job. I'm going to get that qualification. Whatever those things may be, okay, you consciously make those decisions because you are driven by an emotion to feel better. We are all making decisions all day long because we want to feel good. That is part of being a human. We will do whatever it takes to move from pain to pleasure. We make all our decisions based on feeling better. We believe that when we have that new job, we'll feel happier. We believe that when we lose that weight, we'll feel happier, right? And so what happens is we make this decision and we go, right, I'm going to feel more happy, I'm going to feel more positive. And then the conscious mind filters that down to the subconscious mind, tells the subconscious mind this is what we're going to do. And like a computer program, the subconscious mind then goes, right, what information have we got to be able to find, to be able to tally up against this new thing that Sarah Jane wants to do? And it filters through like a computer program very quickly and finds some information. It finds some information here that says, well, I don't think so. I don't know about you losing weight, because remember, you've got big bones. So it brings that up, and then it goes, yeah, you do lose weight, but then you put it back on very, very quickly. Look at these patterns. In fact, we've got lots of memories here of you doing this many times before. Or it goes, you think you're never going to be anxious again, but look, we remember that time. Remember that time when you nearly had a nervous breakdown? Or remember that time when you felt like you couldn't cope? Or do you remember that time when life just got too much? Well, we've got all those memories here. And what it does is it filters it up. And because the subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind, guess who wins? Yep, you got it. Your subconscious mind wins every single time. It self-sabotages, and it does this unconsciously, whether you are aware of it or not. In the beginning, it will keep doing it until you become consciously aware that this is the behaviours that you are acting out, and only then can something be changed. And so most people, including myself 15 years ago, were constantly trying to make changes in their outside world to be able to feel happier, to feel content, to not feel stressed and not feel worried and not feel unhealthy, when actually I'd been looking in the wrong place. I needed to come inwards and change these things first, and only then did I start to have a change on my outside world. Only then did things change on my objective world, because until I change the things on the inside, every single time I might, feel better slightly doing something, but then I'd just sabotage myself again. And whether that might be through a distraction of drinking too much alcohol, spending too much money, maybe eating too much chocolate, whatever it might be, there would just be sabotaging behaviours continuously. And I would go, oh, I'd make these excuses. I go, well, I'm just trying to deal with my stressful life. Like you do, because we do that, don't we? We make excuses, and that's purely because we don't realise that there's another way to live. We've never been shown this. We've never been told how to do this. So why wouldn't we just continuously sabotage ourselves? It's not that we're doing anything wrong, right? It's just that we haven't been told how to do anything differently. So what happens then is that until we have a solution to be able to change from the inside, life becomes very exhausting. And then suddenly something happens like this. We get chucked into lockdown. It's very unpredictable. We have been given so many different opinions and bits of information on what's not and what's going on. And our mind goes into overdrive. And what this then does is it creates stress, which stops us from sleeping, makes us want to eat more, and puts us into bad habits. Unless, of course, you're on Catherine's site and you're doing your exercise every day, in which case that's brilliant. So what are we going to do about it? Right, I'm going to give you some hardcore tips. Now, I'm going to give you some bits tonight, and I'm also going to give, at the end of tonight, I'm going to give you an exclusive, actually, for you, only those people that are on here this evening watching this through Catherine's site. I'm going to give you an exclusive of something that's possible for you guys to tap into. But let's just first of all start off with what you can do right now so that you can make some changes from this moment forward, so that you can start taking control back on the magnificence of who you really are. Because do you know what? You're flipping amazing, and everything you've ever needed or wanted exists right now inside every single one of you. There is nowhere else that you need to go. In fact, you have it all, and we just need to be shown how to access that. So the first thing is grab paper and pen, because you're going to need it. From tomorrow, the first thing that I would like you to have a go at is accessing and putting into place some very simple, basic daily rituals that, by the way, like going to Catherine's classes or her gym, it's about consistency. The mind works exactly the same. You might leave this with some inspiration and you might have a go at this tomorrow, and that's really exciting, but the real results happen over time. And what I mean by that is not a long time, but they do take some time to be able to really get the impact. Most of my clients and people that I work with will say that within 2 or 3 days of actually implementing some of these changes, they feel better. But within 3 or 4 weeks, it becomes a new habit. And that is what you want, is you want to change the brain waves, you want to change what's going on in here so it becomes a lifestyle rather than just, I did it once or twice and it was all right, but then I forgot and I reverted back to my old ways. And we've all done that. We've mastered that. We're all mint at that, aren't we? We're brilliant. But we don't want to do that this time, because we don't want this subconscious mind to win. We want to be able to override that. And the only way we can override that now as adults whose brainwaves are not in theta state but are now in beta state is through repetition. That is it. Because the beta brainwaves only learn by you doing things over and over and over again. And unfortunately, there is no way of changing that, because unless you're under 7 years old and you're watching this, then you're fine. But if you're over 7, then the only way that you can create new habits, new lasting changes of living is through repetitive new behaviours. And that is it. But it doesn't take long. I promise you, it doesn't take long. It takes weeks. That's it. You've just got to do a little bit every day. So the first thing I want you to do is, you're going to get up tomorrow, you're going to do Catherine's class, or whatever time of the day you do Catherine's class. You're going to move your body, because it is so important, because of the endorphins, and they make you feel good. And if you aren't doing Catherine's class on a regular basis, then you better start. Give me the thumbs up if that's what you want to tell them, Catherine. After that, I need you to start drinking more water. Most people are dehydrated, they're not drinking enough water. You need to drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. The reason for that is because if the brain is not hydrated, it will keep you awake. Yep, it will keep you awake on a night. Most of the people that come to me with sleep issues, there's a collection of reasons why, but one of the reasons is also because they're dehydrated and they don't realise. You've got to up your water. So move your body, drink water. The next thing I need you to do is meditate. Now, if you don't know how to meditate and you've not got a meditation practice, then I am going to put a link on the bottom of this talk to thebrightpath.com, which is the meditation that I practice and now also teach, which is called Ascension, which means to rise above the mind. It's a bit of a game changer in my eyes. It changed my life completely. There aren't actual courses being taught at the moment, but there are free tips and things on the site. And if not, then you can go and download an app for now called Insight Timer, which again we'll put a link at the bottom. And there's lots of free little meditations. The reason why you need to be meditating is because it heals your nervous system and it allows you to have a tool to keep you present. And when you are present in the present moment, it's not possible to be stressed. It is not possible to be stressed. I'm going to say that again. It is not possible to be stressed and be in the present moment. I have never ever worked with a client, right, who comes to me with massive anxiety issues and stress issues and maybe chronic pain, who is uber present. They just never are. They're off in their mind. There's a huge correlation to a busy mind and stress. They go hand in hand together. Those people that master being present in their experience and in their lives do not experience stress to the levels that people that are busy in their heads. There is a correlation to it. So if you can start exercising the muscle of practicing with some sort of technique to bring you back into the present moment, you are 99% there. Literally 99% there. And I would say that meditation is not actually something that you should question. It's a total must in everybody's life. And if you're not sure what meditation really is, or if you have a bit of a squiffy opinion about meditation, then don't worry, that was me too. 15 years ago, I was like, I'm not going to learn to meditate, that sounds so boring. Now look at me, I'm a meditation teacher. But anyway, that's a whole other story. And if you want to know more information on that, then you can go to my YouTube page, which is the Mindset Coach, Kirsty Show. And again, I'll put a link down here, and I've got loads of information on meditation on there. So I need you to meditate at least 5 minutes a day, okay? At least, because you need to have a tool to allow you to teach you to become more present. The more present you become, the less stressed you become. The less stressed, guess what happens to your immune system? It doesn't get compromised. It's a no-brainer, right? So you've moved your body, you've drunk some water, you've meditated, and now the next part is that you are going to set your day up. Now, where attention goes, energy flows, period. That's how simple this life is. So if you are putting your attention onto lack and fear and things that are scary, then that is going to be your day. If you put your attention onto things that are empowering and upward spiraling, then that is going to be your day. So you're going to start off with some attitude of gratitude. And what you do with this is you just choose three things. That's it in the morning. 3 simple things that you are grateful for. But this is not where it stops. I then need you to take those 3 things, and I'd like you to put the reasons why you feel grateful about these things. The reason why we do that is because when we start saying why, we trigger the chemical reaction within ourselves that spirals us up into an upward spiraling state, which makes us feel good. And that's what this is about, right? This is about us feeling good. And the only way that we're going to do this is through repetition and taking control over where we put our attention. So you've moved your body, you've drunk some water, you've meditated, and now you've taken the power back to put your attention on something that's empowering and upward spiraling. Now, 4 very simple steps, not difficult, but different, that consistently, if you do that for the next week, you are going to be in a completely and utterly different state. Now, you might be somebody watching this who's significantly stressed, or has got really poor sleep and has been affected by anxiety in a significant way recently, and that's okay. These are small little steps, and if you want some more support, then reach out and speak to me, because I am the founder of a technique called the Freedom Alignment Method, which actually addresses the root cause of all emotional, physical and mental pain and stress, including severe anxiety and depression. And I've worked with hundreds and thousands of people now with these symptoms and chronic pain, and I've had huge results. and you can go to my website to have a look at like all the testimonials and things like that on there, which is kirstybortoff.co.uk. But for you guys, right here, right now, the first step is implementing those very simple steps. But if you want to know how to really become empowered, if you want to really gain back the power of these programs that are running unconsciously in the background of your life, if you want to know how to let go of this suppressed emotion so it doesn't affect you mentally, physically and emotionally, if you want to gain back control of your entire health and life so that you can dictate actually and create an empowered, inspiring, wonderful, magical life, which by the way is your birthright. Every single one of you has the capability to do this. We've just forgotten, that's all. We've just not been told how to do it. But if you want more, and guess what, you deserve more, then I've popped down in the little side part, which has got some links in it, a questionnaire, and all you've got to do, it take 1 minute, is fill the questionnaire, and it will lead you to an opportunity to a 21-day program which is all about empowerment. And we are looking for a handful of people to trial and test this program, so that could be you if you want it. And it's just going to be little daily videos into your inbox where you'll get the opportunity to be able to not just be part of this program, but also be part of a 21-day change of brainwaves so that you become empowered by the end of it. Then please fill it in ASAP after this, and we will be in touch with you very, very soon to tell you what the next steps are. Now, before I go, any questions before I jump off, by the way? And you can shout any questions out on down here if you have any. Let me just have a quick look. But while I am seeing if any questions coming through, I want to just say something. Okay, number one, human beings are, the chances of you being born on this planet, right, are so tiny. They're like 1 to 700 trillion, right? So tiny. And you made it. You are already a huge success. But the power of a human mind and body is phenomenal. And if you honestly knew how powerful you are as an individual, when I say this, I do not kid you, you would literally be able to shift a mountain with the power that you have within you when you tap into your own source. And it's not difficult. It may be different, but it's not difficult. But the one thing, if anything, you leave with tonight is please, please, please just remember that you are significant, you are amazing, and you have the power and control to choose in any moment where you are going to put your attention. And depending on where you put your attention literally determines your life, literally determines how you feel and how you deal with this wonderful playground that is called the world. And it's totally up to you, but it just takes a very, very simple conscious moment to go, where and how do I want to feel? And if you make feeling good your number one priority by resting back in the present moment and choosing from there to put it on something that makes you feel happy, like things that you are passionate about, things that you love, people that you care about, then I promise you in the next 24 hours you are going to be a totally different human being. Because the power in which you hold within is beyond anything out there. Anything. I promise you. All you've got to do is you've just got to grab that power back and grab the power of your own health because you own it. Do not give it away to anyone. It starts from within, and it starts from you implementing these very, very small little tricks. And I promise you, if you keep doing that every day, life will unfold in beyond magical ways you could ever imagine. Absolutely, just go and grab it. Right, before I jump off, I need to read these questions, but I don't know what I've done with my glasses now. There they are. So, okay, have I got any questions here? Any books to recommend? Yes, my book. I've got a book coming out very shortly. It's going to be called Breaking Free from Pain. It's my first book. Be gentle with me. It's more like a It's more like a handbook. It's got like some wonderful techniques and tools in it. I talk about the freedom alignment method in there, and that'll be out next month. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll keep you posted. I've also got my own group called it's called Dissolving Stress and Managing Anxiety. Again, I'll put a link in where I do lives on there. Other books, my favourite book is Letting Go by David Hawkins. It's like my go-to book ever. Love the guy. He passed away a few years ago. Massive inspiration to me and huge impact on my growth and development. There's lots of other books that I could share too. What else are the questions? Books, Breaking Free from Pain. Yeah, that's what it's called. I think that's it. So guys, let's just summarise what's going on. You are going to take your power back. You are going to decide in every moment where you are going to choose to put your attention so that you feel good. This is because where attention goes, energy flows, and it has a direct reflection of how you feel from within. Every cell of your body is listening to the thoughts that you are putting your attention on. So do not put it on stressful things, because what will happen is it will think that you're under threat and it will proceed into releasing cortisol into the body. We don't want that. You don't need it. You are totally safe and fine. In fact, you're amazing. Number 2, you can start implementing these very simple tools from tomorrow. Move your body, drink water, be grateful, and whatever the fourth one was, I can't remember now. And the last things last is that you are going to remember that you are absolutely amazing. You are so perfect. In fact, you are so incredibly strong, and everything you've ever needed is within you, especially that tribe of protection that knows how to keep you fit and healthy is more significant and more powerful than any other drug you could ever put into your body. So do not underestimate how wonderful your chemistry of your body is, and just make sure that you keep your focus on where you are going and not what you think is going wrong. So other than that, guys, please do come and join me on my page. It's been amazing. Thank you so much, Catherine. And meditation, I'll put some links down for different practices. If you want to know more, then obviously shout out and send me some messages. Other than that, I love you all, and thank you so much for having me, and I'll hopefully get to speak to you all again soon. Mwah. Have an amazing night, and guess what? You rock. See you later.